The Knicks Summer League has wrapped up, and we have a few standouts, including Tyler Kolek. Can't forget about Rokas as well. We also have some mock trades involving Julius Randle, Deuce McBride. Summer is still hot and heavy. We also have some extension talk regarding Julius Randle. Let's do it.
Let's run that intro.
They're playing basketball. Basketball.
You're listening to the Knicks Nation podcast, where we've got all your Knicks needs covered.
Puts up a three. Bang! Bang! He ties the game!
Now, live from the city that never sleeps, here are your hosts, Anthony and Chris.
Boy, oh boy, it feels good to be back, Chris. You know, the summertime is, obviously we're both busy. We're going on vacations, and the Knicks are just wrapping up their summer leagues. But it's good to be back talking New York Knicks, including some prospects that, we thoroughly enjoyed watching, including Tyler Kolek and Rokas and Kolek as well. Appreciate every single one of you joining us here tonight, July 21st. This is episode 59 of the Knicks Nation podcast. Chris, what is up, sir? What's going on?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good, enjoying the summer league action, watching our young Knicks take the floor and, showing us a little bit of something, right? How about that guy, Tyler Kolek, man? Looking like a playmaking stud out there. I'm doing good, man. How have you been?
Look, I've been good, man. I'm enjoying summer, obviously, and not really much to talk about but our summer league guys and a Julius Randle extension that we'll get to later on. But first, let's start with this. Appreciate every single one of you. I see you all you guys in the chat. Appreciate every single one of you in here. Yeah, Chris, Tyler Kolek, man. I mean, he has been one of the standouts in the summer league as a whole. His playmaking ability has been thoroughly impressive. Look, I came into the summer league not knowing what to expect from him, and boy, his vision is just unreal, right? I mean, his on-court awareness, his vision, yeah, it's amazing, honestly. Like, I'm really liking what I saw from Tyler Kolek, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. What was the main thing you took away from his summer league?
Man, it has to be the playmaking.
Yeah.
The playmaking, because look, we heard that he can shoot the ball, things like that. Obviously, being a point guard, with a little bit more time under his belt per se. But man, if you would tell me he was going to come out here and average 7 assists a game and almost no turnovers, except for the last game he had a couple turnovers, which kind of inflated the stat line for him. But he was almost perfect as far as playmaking went, So it was really nice to see that. That's what surprised me the most as far as Tyler Kolek went.
Yeah, so here are the stats. Like Chris said, look, 7 assists per game, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. He also had a great assist to turnover ratio. Ariel Hukporti, can't forget him, 8 points, 7 rebounds. Really like what I saw from him. Daddy A kind of disappointed. Chris, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 31% from the field. He was the Knicks' first-round pick. Didn't really like what I saw from Daddy A. He is a project. I get it, but, the other guys outperformed him, in my opinion. Rokas, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 50% from 3. So, look, Rokas and Tyler Kolek just simply balled out there in the summer league. And, Rokas especially, he's been kind of like that, guy sitting in behind the scenes. We don't know what to expect. He's been, playing somewhere else. And, I think it's time that, he gets some shine. But at the end of the day, I'm like, where is the playing time going to come from now that you have Kolek, who's also playing well? You just signed Cameron Payne, who, according to Begley, is not going to be ahead of Kolek. We could talk about that a little bit later. But now it seems like the Knicks have a, glut of guards. Not saying everyone needs to play, but, Rokas also played really well in the summer league, Chris. And, put Tyler Kolek aside, I thought Rokas really showed us, like, look, I'm ready,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, look, the last two games they were playing a lot of Kolek and Rokas lineups together. You know, they looked really good together. And Rokas also, look, I didn't know he was as good of a playmaker. He did have a couple more turnovers than let's say Kolek did per se, but
Yeah.
the creativity is there. And Rokas he kind of has a little bit of an all around game. You know, he can let it fly from three, and he was hitting it at a high clip. Granted, he picks and chooses his spots. Not like he's just jacking up 3-pointers, but I like what I saw from Rokas. He's always been a guy that I'm sure Knicks fans have always wondered about. Knicks were just stashing him, and he played like one summer league game a year, it seemed. So this is the first time we got a good look at him, and I like what I saw, man. But like you mentioned, Campaign is on board. Tyler Kolek is on board. Rokas, where would he fit? You know, Deuce McBride still there. So I mean, look, it's nice considering last season point guard depth was something we didn't have. And now, you know, granted some of these guys are very young. They might not see the floor much, but it's nice to have, you know, some up and coming guys stashed away.
It is. It is. And most of these guys will be in the G League, and I feel like someone will crack the rotation. Also, can't forget Dmitro Skapintsev. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Skapintsev. He was impressive too. The couple of the Knicks bigs were impressive. Huck Porty and Skapintsev were both impressive. Skapintsev looked like, kind of like a Hardenstein a little bit. From what I saw from him, the push shots, a little bit more offense. I'm not saying he's Isaiah Hardenstein, but we got a little bit more offense from him, and I like what I saw from Skapintsev.
I've been seeing the comps on X and whatnot, and they're calling him Jokic light. So I don't know, man.
They're already calling They're already calling him Skapintsev, Jokic light. That's hilarious.
Yep. I mean, I think it's a little bit too early, but I did like what I saw from him, man. I mean, last game he had a double-double, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. And he showed a little bit of everything. He has a little bit of a post game. He can stretch the floor a little bit. And, active defender. So, again, I guess add him to the list of potential backup bigs for the Knicks.
Potential backup bigs. Him alongside Huck Porty, because right now the New York Knicks kind of have, Mitchell Robinson, Jericho Sims. Precious Achiuwa has been rumored to be, a candidate to re-sign with the New York Knicks, but he is still a free agent, and I'm hoping the Knicks can get that done. But the summer is still young, and we just have to wait and see. But back to, so yeah, those were pretty much the highlights of the summer league. But back to Kolek, Chris. I mean, his game is just, he's so mature out there. His vision, his court vision, his his poise. Some of the passes that he were making, it was like how did you see that coming? Like, how did you look, there's a reason why this kid was like one of the assist leaders in college. I mean, look, he's 23 years old. He's an older rookie. Knicks traded up for him in the second round. So take that into consideration. They knew what they had they knew what Kolek, brought to the table. They traded up for him. They targeted him in the second round. And the Knicks have had success late in the first, in the second round as well. So, Tyler Kolek has been, kind of like a hot name. Like, does he get playing time? Rookies and, but I don't know. It just feels different. Like just watching him, a guy that can see the floor that well, pair him with a bunch of shooters around him, which the Knicks have, guys that can grade his own shot. I'm just excited for Kolek. I'm loving that pick. And I don't know. Do you think we see him? Because it's tough.
I think it's possible. I mean, I think he's going to be a guy that Tibbs is going to love. I mean, look, he was out there defending too, trying his best on the defensive side of the ball. He I won't say he gambles in the passing lanes, but he does take some risks here and there. So there's a lot to like about Tyler Kolek, and I think he's going to become one of Tibbs' favorites, and maybe he takes a similar path to like an Emmanuel Quickley, right? You could see something like that probably happen. I mean, again, I know Deuce McBride is there.
Yeah.
But if the rumors are true and the Knicks are looking to possibly use Deuce as more of an off-ball type of player, that kind of paves the way for a couple minutes for Kolek here and there, depending on what happens with the rest of the depth behind him.
Yeah, so, obviously the starting five is set in stone, and, if you were to play a Kolek, your rotation would pretty much be like a 10-man rotation. Obviously during the season, that's, doable. On Tom Thibodeau, last year, I think we had a 10-man rotation, 9-man rotation for the most part, but, it's possible. And if Kolek shines during training camp, if Kolek, continues to play this way, I feel like he will crack the rotation in some sort of fashion. So let me hit some of these comments. Appreciate every single one of you in here. Just hopping on here talking some Knicks basketball, Knicks Summer League basketball about the standouts. Also, Dwayne Washington. I see that he impressed you a little bit, Chris. Not me. I don't want Dwayne Washington. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, from a scoring perspective, he was getting buckets, man. But I know with his size, obviously there's not much defense there, if any at all. But
Yeah.
he impressed me as far as being able to get a bucket, man. There's plenty of times where, he's taking these tough shots, step backs, with the shot clock coming down, and he hit a ton of them.
He forced it a little bit too much for my liking. There was times where I'm like, bro, pass the ball. Like you're forcing it. I get it. You want to make, the Knicks. You want to go to the big squad, and I get it. But there was times where he was forcing it a little bit too much. But he can score the rock in spurts. So I don't know. It's just one of those.
I see it too. It is summer league. These guys are trying to stick with somebody. So, putting up points never hurts, right?
Yeah, it never hurts. So, shout out to Dwayne. I don't want to rain on his parade too much. He's out there getting buckets, I guess. Nostalgic Nick, what's going on? Says he's definitely getting playing time. I think you're talking about Tyler Kolek. CM, what's going on? John says, I will give you Kolek is elite passer, good offense, but no defense at all. Yeah, that's why, the TJ McConnell comparison wasn't – he didn't like that comparison. Obviously, McConnell's a way better defender right now. I'm not saying, Kolek can't get to that point. But in terms of offense, I think there was times where I really wanted to see a little bit more offense from Kolek. And then in the next game, he followed it with a good offensive showing with, great assist numbers, low turnovers, and a game-winning shot. I think that was against the Kings. So, look, he's a rookie. He's going to go through these ups and downs. But, yeah, defensively, Chris, I know, that's if you're not playing defense out there, Tom Thibodeau is going to yank you. So,
yeah,
that's his only bugaboo.
Like I said, that's why I think he tried in a sense to make up for it by, attacking passing lanes and things like that. That's some things that I saw here and there. But that's also the reason why I say maybe he takes a path similar to Emmanuel Quickley. Quickley was a guy who, became a Tibbs guy, didn't play defense great for his size either, but put in the work and became a pretty damn good defender. So hopefully Kolek can improve on the defensive end, because if he doesn't, I don't know if he'll see the floor much, no matter how good his passing is.
Yeah, I don't know either. All right, Chris. So this week there was some conflicting reports that came out regarding the depth chart, right? First, I think it was Begley stating that Cameron Payne was above Kolek in the depth chart. Then recently he kind of walked that back a little bit, saying that, Kolek is above Cam Payne in the depth chart. Here's what I have to say about this, man. To me, it's like way too premature for that talk. It is July 21st, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I get it. People want to get ahead of things for some engagement, but it's July 21st, Let's just see how training camp goes, plays out. Look, at the end of the day, the Knicks are trying to win, a championship, right? So I know that's like the boring response, the boring answer, Chris, but Cam Payne has playoff experience, right? So, maybe the Knicks see value in that. They see the value in the chemistry that he has with Bridges. They see value in that, and he's going to bring the energy. Let's just go through training camp and see how everything plays out and see if there's another move, But I guess for, kind of some banter back and forth, Chris, would you be upset if Cam Payne leapfrogged, was the front runner to Tyler Kolek in the depth chart? Would you be upset, or would you just be like, look, I get it?
I mean, I'm upset that the Knicks signed him to begin with. You know, he
Oh.
was he was on the 76ers. You know, he was chirping at us. Nah, look, we all know what he did for the 76ers, and extended that series per se. But I think it's a good piece that we picked up, right? A nice little small piece, somebody who could defend and score the ball a little bit. But
Yeah.
do I want him, you know? blocking Tyler Kolek from getting some minutes and gaining the experience he needs? No, I don't. But at the same time, if I'm thinking about this in the whole Tibbs scenario, it's going to be what you show me come preseason, practice, etc. So if campaign is getting lit up by Tyler Kolek left and right, Tyler Kolek should get the nod in my opinion. But I think I'm kind of in the same mindset of you. It's kind of too early for it, I would assume a vet would get the nod over a rookie, but things change, right?
Things do change in a blink of an eye. And right now, Ian Begley says Tyler Kolek is currently the Knicks' backup point guard ahead of Cameron Payne. People familiar with the matter tell SNY look. I mean, like I said, it's July 21st. I get it. We all want to talk about something, but right now, look, from what we saw from Kolek in the summer league, like if you put him on the bench with, stagger him with Bridges, stagger him with Dante, Hart, I like it. Sign me up for it. We all love the rookies coming in and playing well. Look, he has to play well at the end of the day. If he's not playing well, he's not going to play. We're trying to win a championship here, point blank period. I mean, our starting five is one of the best starting fives in the NBA. We're trying to win a championship now. We're not trying to, be like the Brooklyn Nets who are trying to like figure out their future. We're still trying to develop, which we have done simultaneously with Deuce, obviously last year. But at the end of the day, we're trying to win a championship. So sign me up for whatever it takes, whatever gets the job done to win a basketball game, to, chemistry wise, but the vision from Tyler Kolek, I don't think it's crazy to say right now he will be one of the Knicks' best passers. It sounds crazy, but it's from what I've seen this summer league, his vision is absurd, So,
but you said it. Summer league.
Yeah,
we need to see it in the NBA.
Yeah,
that's what's going to determine everything, in my opinion. It's nice having summer league and watching summer league, and not being worried about these guys in summer league. That's a nice change of pace for us Knicks fans. Usually it's we're scrutinizing everything when it comes to summer league, but like you mentioned, we're trying to win a championship now with the addition of Mikal Bridges, of course, the extension to Jalen Brunson. And, this team is ready to go. So like you said, it's not so much about, developing the young guys right now, but if we can get some help from a young guy, so be it, right?
So be it. So shout out to the Summer League. I like the Summer League. Maybe we'll take a trip down there next year, Chris, and, go to the Summer League. But you brought up extension. So Jalen Brunson, signed. We didn't come on here after that, but Jalen Brunson signed the extension that we were all, wondering if he would even sign it. Well, he signed it. So that is done. That is sealed. I mean, Jalen Brunson, build a statue for him. It's absurd that he signed that, but it's just a true testament to his character, and he wants to build a championship in New York. Obviously, you get Mikal Bridges. Now the job is to win a championship. But shout out to JB for signing that. Anything you want to say on that?
JB is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, when the rumors came out that he was thinking about doing that, it's hard to think that somebody would give up that amount of money. But, I think JB is smart, He kind of secures his future a bit financially, let's be real. Even with the cut that he took, it's still life-changing money, generational money for him.
Yeah.
And look, he can still make it back. I think after 3 years, he can opt out, get a bigger contract.
Yeah.
So I think that was smart by him. Obviously, I think JB is going to be a great player for years to come. And like you said, man, if this guy wins a championship, if this Knicks team wins a championship with Jalen Brunson, you got to make 2, 3 statues
Yeah.
out there of this guy, because that's one unsell. You don't see it. You rarely see this with a player.
Yeah. So yeah. That just got Knicks Nation excited when he signed that contract. Mikal Bridges, he could sign a 2-year, $60 million contract in October, or he could sign a 4-year, $120 million contract next summer. There are already reports mentioning that Brunson and Mikal are leaning towards signing a mega team friendly deal in New York. So Brunson did it. Now, Mikal Bridges, I fully expect Mikal Bridges to do the same, Chris. He's next. I feel like he's going to sign that extension. And boy, man, I mean, that opens up possibilities. But yeah, Chris, he could sign 2-year, $60 million contract in October, or wait to sign a 4-year, $120 million contract next summer. A little bit of a tidbit. These contracts are going to end up being great contracts because the TV deal is coming after this season. Their projections are out there for the cap to go up 30 to 40%. So take a look at the Brunson contract now, the Bridges extension next year and the next coming years. Those are their bargains now. In the next coming years, those are going to be bargains as well. So Mikal Bridges, Chris, it's looking like he might do the same, and I'm expecting him to do it, honestly.
Yeah, at this point, doesn't it seem like this was the plan kind of all along? Like they're definitely coming together and saying, hey, if we take a little bit off the contract here and there, what does that get us? Maybe that frees up money for another top level guy we can add. Or maybe that allows you to re-sign Julius Randle. It's exciting, man. It's exciting to see these guys get together and be unselfish. Obviously, we don't know if Mikal Bridges is going to do that, but man, I wonder what they got planned, because Leon, I'm telling you, Leon has something in store. I still think there's more moves to come.
Wow. I mean, yeah, it could be. I mean, we'll talk about the Julius Randle situation in a second, but yeah, I fully expect Mikal Bridges to either sign the 2-year, $60 million in October, or wait and sign 4-year, $120 million next summer. So, like I said, there's already reports saying that he will do that. Brunson did it. There were reports saying that Brunson might do it. Brunson did it. And now here we are. OG Anunoby is the highest paid Knick on the team. So OG Anunoby will be buying everyone dinners. And that is well-deserved on his part. I mean, Chris, so we go to Julius Randle. So Julius Randle is eligible for an extension, and it's not looking like the New York Knicks and Julius Randle are going to come to an agreement regarding that. So one thing about this Knicks front office, Chris, is that they've been very proactive, right? Manuel quickly wanted more money. Knicks couldn't match what obviously the Knicks wanted to pay him a certain amount, 80 to 90 million. Manuel quickly said, no, thank you. Knicks got value for quickly. They traded him with RJ Barrett for OG Anunoby, a good trade. So one thing is that they've been very proactive. So if Randle hints, look, I'm not going to sign an extension, the Knicks will, they'll trade him, right?
I think if Julius Randle came out like that and basically said, hey, I'm not going to sign an extension, I think they would, because at that point, it's like you don't want to risk losing him for like nothing, right? I think that would be the smart thing to do. And I don't think this front office is, could they take the gamble perhaps? Maybe, but it doesn't seem likely, especially when you got somebody like Julius that, his production is off the charts. Whether people want to give him the credit or not, this guy can get you 25, 10, and 5, and that's hard to come by. So I think if he did come up to the Knicks like that, you'd have to trade him, right?
I think right now both of them are at a crossroads. I think Julius Randle wants to prove that he's still Julius Randle, who's coming off major surgery, so he wants to go out there and obviously prove that he is still a 25-10 guy. I think the Knicks want to extend Randle, but on a team-friendly deal. But maybe, it's just not the number where Julius Randle wants to be at right now. I think Mobley signed today for what, $200 million or something like that.
They're like 245.
So yeah, if you're Julius Randle, man, if I was Julius Randle, I'm gonna go out there and show, look, I'm still Julius Randle. I can still ball the heck out. Let's go out there and win a championship, and we'll worry about this, I don't know, next year. But
yeah,
it is risky. Right,
is.
but Julius Randle wants to be in New York. He's been on, world tour this summer doing podcasts and stating that he wants to be in New York. He wants to win a championship in New York. Obviously, his name every summer has been in trade rumors. Every summer, it's like clockwork. You can't escape it every summer. So, but he wants to win a championship in New York. This is his best opportunity to win a championship right now with our team, with our current team. So I think right now the Knicks want to extend him, but they want to do a team-friendly extension. Randle probably wants to show everyone, like, I still got it. I'm worth what Mobley's getting, what Karl Anthony Towns got. I'm worth that. Two-time All-Star, right?
Yeah.
Made the All-NBA twice. So
All-NBA. Look, I still think this has always been my stance on Julius, and and through the years, look, I've been pro Julius, I've been get rid of Julius, I've been all over the map, but
yeah,
I still think he is part of the solution here for the Knicks, man. I think he's gonna be motivated this season, like you said, to prove that he's still Julius Randle, that he can produce, and more importantly, go and compete in the playoffs and actually make an impact. I think that's all we're going to see from Julius this year. I think it'll be a mistake, honestly, to get rid of him. Because, again, this is a guy who can give you 25, 10, and 5 or more. He's done it.
Yeah.
It just might not look as nice as you wanted, or, I never got the comparisons with other stars. They're saying trade Julius for this guy or that guy. And Julius is clearly the better player statistically. So I just think he gets a bad rap. I think it'll be a mistake to trade him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I like Julius Randle, and I think he fits on this team, man.
3-time All-Star, excuse me. I know I got that wrong. But yeah, I've said my piece on Julius. I just think we just need to know if Julius Randle is healthy, right? That's the main goal. Are you healthy? Is your shoulder good? If your shoulder 100%, are you going to go into next season with he's going to go into next season with, some limitations, and with the team the Knicks have built around him, they can afford to have Julius play on a limited, maybe 25, 30 minutes a night, try to ease him in a little bit. But yeah, Chris, I mean, we saw it in January with this new version of the squad. Now you bring in Mikal Bridges. I just think that brings out the best version of Julius Randle when you surround him with pretty much great players. So, but that name has been, I got a mock trade with Memphis that the trade came out, I think this past week, that I'll put up for you guys. But I wanted to hit some of these comments before we get to that, talking about Julius Randle. Lou Boogie says they got older rookies with experience minus Daddy A. Kolek Sr., McCullough Sr., Huckporty, Manchild. Yeah. And then Nick Yak, what's going on? Huckporty, 5%. Oh my goodness. Ska was the best player in Summer League. Both balled out. Sims has 1 foot out the door. Yeah, look, Huckporty and Ska. That's his nickname, Ska. Look, backup center, Mitchell Robinson, durability issues. I don't know if you can count on them. They're rookies at the end of the day, but they shown that, they're not scrubs. They know how to play the game of basketball. Like, they know Huckporty especially. I like Huckporty. He's kind of smooth around the rim. I like the way he moves. He plays above his head. I like what I saw from Huckporty as well. So maybe the Knicks decide to go that route and just go into the season with that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Huck Porty and iHeart were actually teammates at one point. So they I think Huck Porty was still studying a bit under iHeart.
yeah.
So who knows? Maybe we got the second coming of iHeart.
Who know? All right, back to shout out to Huck Porty and Ska. Back to the Julius Randle. This trade came about this past week. Thought I'd bring it up to you guys. Let me hit some of these comments before we touch on this. John says, everyone, let me hit Buzzer Beater. Buzzer Beater, what's going on? I think moving on from Randle would be a mistake. The guy has been through the tough times. Why would he want to leave now that we can finally win it all? Brunson and McHale took pay cuts for a reason. And then John says, everyone that says trade Randle, you don't know what you have until it is gone. Man, that's going to hit people with bricks, with a ton of bricks, depending on who the Knicks would get in return. I'm not saying that, would be a possibility, but you never know. These extension talks, it seems like no one really goes into an unrestricted free agency. So it's like if a player doesn't want to extend with you, he's a trade candidate. I mean, it's the reality of the situation. You can't lose him for nothing. So, all right, let's get to this trade, Chris. This is from heavy.com. Knicks receive Jaren Jackson Jr., solves your center position. He can shoot corner threes. I'm not sure, but I think he's 32 or 33%. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Plus 2 first-round picks. The Grizzlies receive Julius Randle. When I first saw this trade, Chris, I said, this is my raw reaction. I said, why would the Grizzlies want to do this? Also add 2 first-round picks, not knowing Julius Randle's shoulder situation, right? I think this would be a little bit of an overpay regarding the Grizzlies front, but, this came about from heavy.com. What are your thoughts about this trade?
Honestly, that's my same reaction too. Why would the Grizzlies do this? I mean, 2 firsts and Jaren Jackson definitely solves the issue we have with our center, but
yeah,
where's the fit with Julius Randle on the Grizzlies? That's my thinking. I don't see how this works for them.
Jaren Jackson Jr. would make $25 million this year, $23 million next year, and then he is an unrestricted free agent. Lou Boogie says, yes, take this trade any day. And then CM says, why would they also give us picks? The disrespect for Julius is crazy. Y'all can't name 5 power forwards better than him. Knickerbocker says, y'all watch out. We are going to trade for Trey Murphy. Nostalgic says, only trading him for Cat. John says, nope, not doing it. Nick Yak says, center posting up, calling for the ball. When was the last time? Ewing, not saying Ewing, but aggressive. Love going to hoop. Look, Jaren Jackson can ball a little bit. He took a step back last year. The Grizzlies were an absolute mess. I think he got hurt at one point as well. Yeah. But, I'm assuming heavy.com wanted to find something that'll work for both teams. Like Jaren Jackson makes 20. Look, Julius makes 28 this year, and then he has a player option next year. So essentially, we could be looking at Julius Randle on a 1-year deal, Chris. Essentially, he could opt out of that player option, and then he becomes, an unrestricted free agent. And that's what the front office is haggling over right now. That's why Julius Randle's name has been in trade rumors. That's why, because an extension, he's eligible. He has not signed such extension. When a player hasn't signed that extension, that brings up about the trade rumors, which is why we're talking about it now, which is why his name has been in rumors. But in a perfect world, Chris, I would like the Knicks to get an extension done with Julius Randle. I would like him to be fully healthy, and I would like the New York Knicks to extend Julius Randle. I know he wants to be in New York. I don't think he wants to play in Memphis or somewhere else. He started this, remember? He signed here, and it's only right, in my opinion, if we win it with him. That's just my sense on that whole situation.
I agree. And you heard it, when Julius has hopped onto on other people's podcasts, and he said it. He's basically echoing the sentiment that there's unfinished business. I felt like an outcast, when the guys were balling out in the playoffs and whatnot. And they told me, hey, man, don't worry about it. We're going to be right back. Get healthy.
Yeah.
And his main goal right now is getting healthy. And from the sounds of it, unfinished business that he wants to take care of. To me, it sounds like somebody who wants to be a Knick, stay a Knick. And who knows? The extension talks could possibly be stalling because maybe the Knicks are trying to, in a sense, take advantage of Julius's situation, right? They're probably like, hey, we don't know what's going to be the case with your shoulder. Is it going to get better? Is it going to limit you down the line? Maybe they're at, their extension is at one number and Julius is like, I'm going to be good. Don't worry about that. Give me that cat money. So it could be something like that, right? And then that quickly, like you mentioned before, it could turn into a whole entire, I'm going to bet on myself and not sign an extension. And then we can talk again. Versus do the Knicks then pivot and say, all right, I hear you. We're going to put you on the trading block.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's interesting. But also, let's not forget, CAA is repping Julius Randle.
Yeah, I try to put myself in like the players' shoes, and look, if I see Evan Mobley getting that's kind of what you would see Julius maybe get, like around that, maybe a little bit more. But Brunson took less. Bridges is looking like he's going to take less. And I'm not saying everyone doesn't need to take less, right? I mean, OG didn't take less. I mean, Knicks paid top dollar for OG Anunoby. So
actually, they said OG left a couple mil on the table.
Okay, but he still got a crap ton of money.
Still counts, man. He took less.
Yeah, okay. Give him his credit. He did take less, but I'm not saying Julius wants to take less, and that's the case. I just feel like it could go like, look, let's say Julius goes into the season. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but let's say Julius goes into the season, gets to a slow start. Doesn't really look like Julius. Kind of is not fitting with the guys, and I'm not saying that will happen. I'm just saying, what if he's like, look, maybe I'll pick up my player option, my $30 million player option. That could be an option too,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of avenues where this can go, but his name, I mean, it's going to continue to be in these rumors until he signs that extension. So
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Buzzer Beater says, I can see Randle signing for a 2-year deal with the second year as a play option. Nick Yash says Randle will take less. Buzzer Beater says, I refuse to take less. Nick Yak says, Cat last 4 years averaged 54 games and fans crying about Mitch 2 injuries. Yeah, I mean, Cat, he's being owed, $50+ million. Like, anytime you talk about a Julius Randle trade, it just has to be Karl Anthony Towns.
Yep.
But, which is why the Jaren Jackson rumor came about. And it was kind of interesting, because that kind of, then you would put what? Like, if that trade was to go through, then you would put, obviously, I would start Jackson. Then you would put, OG at the 4. And then you would put Dante back at the 2, have Mikal at the 3, and start Brunson. So you would have a lineup of Brunson, Dante, Mikal, OG, and Jaren Jackson. I think that's the crowd who wants that trade. They want Dante in the starting lineup. Because there has been some chatter, Chris, that, now that you acquire Bridges, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to be the guy that's going to be like, damn, like I want my playing time back? Might be Dante, or it just might be like,
I don't see
care.
them. Yeah, I don't see them going that route.
Yeah.
These guys are just these guys have such a history together that it's like you're already seeing it with Brunson taking his extension, obviously taking the early extension. You're seeing it with the news about Mikal now. I'm sorry, the rumors about Mikal possibly doing the same.
Yeah.
I don't think these guys are just built that way. They're not going to complain. Look, Dante DiVincenzo came in here for a backup role with Quentin Grimes starting over him. He didn't complain. He just went on the court and played better and eventually became the starter, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me he's gonna complain having a guy like Mikal Bridges in front of him? I'm pretty sure these guys know what each other is capable of. I don't think their egos are gonna get in the way like that.
I know. Like John says in the chat, these guys just want to win. At the end of the
Yes.
day, they just want to win. And they won in Villanova, and now it's time to win in New York and bring a championship to New York. So at the end of the day, I don't feel like, there'll be any, anybody pretty much souring over minutes is what I'm trying to get at. I saw a couple of, tweets about that, and I just don't see it. I think it's just people trying to nitpick at things, but look, these guys have tons of chemistry together, and I just feel like as a whole, the Knicks are going to be a dangerous squad. They're going to come at you in many different ways. Our starting five, our bench. I mean, we're going to come at you in many different ways. We can shoot you to death. We can, play great defense at times, throwing Bridges and Anunoby at, two of your best players. Good luck. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be really exciting.
You said it. You said it. Good luck, man. This defense is going to be elite. That's what I can't wait to see. I mean, if it doesn't look close to what I'm picturing, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. But they're going to be crazy defensively.
Yeah. Yes, they are. This is Mikal Bridges, like we talked about earlier. Mikal Bridges is expected to sign a Knicks-friendly contract after the Nets trade. If you're just joining us, we talked about the Brunson extension. We talked about a little bit of the Randle extension. It's looking like the Knicks and Randle, obviously, they've not come to an agreement yet. They still can, but they have not come to an agreement yet. But the TV deal is coming. We talked about the cap could go up 30 to 40% after the season. So Mikal Bridges can sign a 2-year, $60 million deal in October, or he can wait and sign a 4-year, $120 million contract next summer. So we just have to wait and see regarding that. Brunson, that's a check. Mikal Bridges, I fully expect him to do it. That's a check. Wingstop. Let's go. Let's go.
I don't know if I like that name, but I'll take it.
You don't like that name?
I'll take it. I'm not sure. It's growing on me.
Maybe I'll mock up a graphic, Wingstop, and then, I'll mock up a fire graphic, and then maybe you'll like it. All right, we talked about the Vegas Summer League. Obviously, Kolek and Daddy A, Hukporty, Rokas, and then, Daddy A, though, Chris, first-round pick, 6 points, 4 rebounds. Still needs work, but he'll get there.
He's looking like a project for sure. He's looking like a project for sure. I remember I catched the first Summer League game. I was excited to see what he got. Airballed a couple threes. You could tell he was still trying to figure out, his shot. But to end the Summer League, he didn't shoot it well. He got a few plays, down low, dunks here and there. But, man, he is definitely a project.
And then obviously Dimitro Scap. I'm gonna call him Scap. I don't want to keep botching his name. I'm gonna call him Scap. You know how to pronounce it.
I could live with Scap.
Scap had a double his last game, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. Looking like a little bit of Isaiah Hartenstein, Chris. A little bit. Just a little bit.
I mean, do you think he forces somebody like a Jericho Sims out of the way? I mean, look, this is not the first time he's done this. The prior Summer League, he also flashed a bit, showing post moves, also showing a little bit of a shooting touch. This guy could be something.
Yeah.
I'm not saying a star, but definitely a solid backup.
Us Knicks fans are like so optimistic with Summer League guys and rookies. It's like this guy could be some Kevin Knox. Oh my God, Kevin Knox was a second coming of Kevin Durant in the Summer League.
Kevin Knox dropped 31 points in Summer League today. The legend continues.
It's Summer League at the end of the day, but I was getting excited with some of the guys, especially Tyler Kolek. Still can't get enough with Tyler Kolek. And then we talked about Kolek. So you had Brunson, Tyler Kolek, Deuce McBride, Dante DiVincenzo, Campaign. That's 5 guards. Now, Deuce McBride, more of an off-ball player. Knicks bring in Kolek. Campaign, kind of, give you a little bit of offense when needed with that funky shot, dancing on the court, high-fiving people. He'll give you some of that, right?
Yeah.
I still remember that game in the playoffs versus us where he killed us in Philly.
Yeah.
He came in off the bench and gave him that spark. He's capable of doing that. That's what he can do. And don't forget, when he was with Milwaukee, too, he was also a key contributor for them as well. Veteran, been there, done that. Knicks just kind of wanted to solidify a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Then you combat that with some rookies, Rokas, Kolek, and we're building, right? We're building. I don't really want to talk about playing time just yet. We brought it up earlier. Training camp will, kind of digest everything and talk about, who should play, who should back up Jalen Brunson. But, I mean, from Begley, Chris, it's looking like Kolek is that guy. But I guess the Knicks want Kolek to kind of run the show a little bit with Deuce and Dante and Hart. I don't know,
Sounds like good problems for us to have, in
Yeah.
my opinion. But I think Rokas's play, though, the last couple of games has also, you got to add his name into the mix now, too. He showed you he can play, make, score, shoot the 3 ball well. Looks like he's okay defensively. So it's nice, man. It's nice. This is exactly what you need as a contending team. You got to have these young pieces that are able to contribute, whether that translates to the NBA level. It's yet to be seen, but if you do and you get 1 or 2 of these guys that are able to, slot in and play some meaningful minutes when you need it the most, that's what championship teams do.
And Knicks fans, you can never have enough depth. We went through this last year where everyone literally got hurt and we were we couldn't play anybody. So, you can never have enough of that. And I feel like the Knicks, have really built their guard position really well. Whether you think their center position is kind of weak, I guess we could talk about that, Chris. So there were reports about the New York Knicks checking in on Clint Capella. So I don't know what to make about that.
It doesn't make sense to me because I've heard of this as well. And when almost every report that mentioned this said the Knicks would have to give up Mitchell Robinson in a trade for Clint Capella.
Yeah.
How does that make sense for the Knicks?
It doesn't.
I mean, I don't know. Capella I feel like he's a marginal upgrade over Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
They both get hurt, Clint
More
Capella
money,
can
too.
protect the rim. Yeah, makes more money. But I think everything that Capella does, Mitch does fairly well,
Yeah, Capella last year, 73 games played. He's been durable. 65 the year before that, 74 the year before that, 11 points, double-double, good offensive rebounder as well. But it just makes too much money, and he's kind of on, 30 years old. But, I don't know, Chris. If you were to ask me what was my number one concern going into the season right now on July 21st, is that I just feel a little bit queasy going to the season with Mitchell Robinson as a starting center. Like I love Mitchell Robinson, but it's just durability issues. You're banking on him playing 70 plus games and being healthy in a playoff run where we have title aspirations. So he's going to be playing more than that. I'm not saying he's going to be playing every single game, but I guess the Knicks kind of view Capella as more durable than Mitchell Robinson. So I don't know. It's like Mitchell Robinson. I love the guy, but it's just durability issues, man. It just makes me kind of queasy a little bit going into there with not really a solidified backup. I know Precious can kind of do that a little bit. Knicks can play small. They don't really need like a like a true backup center, right? You don't really like need that. I mean, if you look at Boston, they have, you know, Porzingis, then they have who's Horford, so you can get away with a stretch 4-5ish playing the 5 a little bit, but going into the season, I just feel like the Knicks need to. You cannot rely on Mitch to be durable. You know, you just can't.
And I won't lie, I didn't realize that Capella has been staying healthy. I mean, I'm used to seeing him out, but you know, yeah, it could be as simple as them looking at Capella as, you know, a big who can stay healthy and give you what Mitch can, right? But I guess the way I'm looking at it too is we just lost iHeart. I don't want to lose Mitch as well. We all know what he's. I love that. I love that quote when they said that.
Hartenstein is dead to me. Like, I wish him luck, but we saw a lot of things saying that he would have took less. And look,
hey,
he's in OKC now.
Why even say that at this point? In my opinion,
yeah, like you went to OKC, bro. Come on.
But yeah, but we did lose him. He was a big piece, and maybe that's the way I'm viewing it. You know, just why give up Mitch in a trade for Capella? Who knows what else is going to go out in that trade? And then obviously we're taking in more salary. I mean, I don't know, man. In my opinion, I'd rather have a backup center and Mitch, but I am nervous. Because Mitch does seem to always get hurt, man. Whether, you know, it's some type of freak fracture in his foot or just somebody grabbing him and pulling him down.
Yeah.
Cough, Joel Embiid. You know, it is scary though, going into the season, not knowing, you know, what you're going to get from Mitch.
Yeah, and look, the Knicks, they could address it. Look, it's July 21st. They could address it, or, you know, they could rely on, you know, their young guys, Huck Porty, or you can, you know, pretty much go small at times. Maybe put, you know, I don't know, stagger Randle a little bit, or, you know, maybe there's some in the front office that, you know, believe in Jericho Sims, hoping that he can take that next leap like Deuce McBride took this past season. So just have to have a little bit of faith in that as well. But Mitchell Robinson, yeah, the beauty of Mitchell Robinson is this year, $14 million, 10% of the cap. Next year, $12 million, 8% of the cap. And don't forget the cap is going up. So say what you want. Their ability, I know the best ability is availability. So, but I can think, all I can think was Mitch dominating Joel Embiid. And last year, remember, in the beginning of the season, he was best offensive rebounder in the league, dominating everyone. It's just, we just got to sprinkle some, you know.
Let's not forget. Let's call them out because this man just got paid. Mitchell Robinson dominated Evan Mobley and Jared Allen at the same time.
Yeah.
At the same time. Let's not forget that.
It's just help. It's just helped with Mitch, you know.
Yeah. I think the Knicks almost have to, you know, formulate a plan around Mitch and just kind of watch out for him, you know. I know it's tough with Tibbs. Tibbs is going to want to run him out there as much as possible.
Maybe give him limitations.
Yeah, I think they have to. I think we need to find a way to have Mitch healthy come playoff time. Because he could be the difference, man.
Load management, Mitch.
Yeah, right.
Yo,
I hate to say it.
Do it.
I hate to say it, but maybe that's what changes, you know, the narrative on him.
If you go into the next season with just like Mitch as kind of like your, obviously, your starting center, you have to, you know, load manage here and there. It has to be done.
About it at least.
You have to protect him, you know, because he's valuable to us. He's valuable. Right now he's valuable. So, yeah. So that was a good load management. Expect a lot of that from the Knicks this season. Nick Yak says Capella free agent after next year. He will get Hartenstein $29 million. We're not doing that. Precious wouldn't play center with Randle healthy. John, what's going on? Says Achua would get a 3-year deal, $30 million last 2 years, not guaranteed. Lou says Capella staying healthy because he plays not too hard for the Hawks. John says you can sign it. Yeah, you can sign and trade Precious, add Kolek, Sims, and they have the RJ trade exception at $5.5 million. For Capella, you can do it without giving up Mitchell Robinson. Precious, add Kolek and Sims just for, I don't know. I don't like that.
You're tied to
That's the
Kolek
way
already?
it can't get done. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I
It's
know
usually me who gets stuck to these players. What's going on, man?
Yeah, I don't know. Kolek is just, he's just one of the guys who I'm like stuck to now, I'm just like,
I mean,
that's,
it would be nice to have Capella and Mitch.
yeah, it would be for sure.
I mean, you're telling me we're basically giving
Hey,
up Sid, Kolek.
whatever it takes, man. I don't care. I can't think like that anymore. It's championship now. We're winning a championship in New York in these next couple of years. Bottom line. So I can't think of, rookies, and I can't get attached to anyone. I mean, right now, but that's that. He was just explaining how that trade can get done. Knicks 1-2 a day. Adding campaign makes bench backcourt defense tough with Deuce and Dante. Yes.
Yeah.
CM says 3-team. Capella, Nick Richards going to the Knicks. Deuce, Jericho Sims, picks going to Charlotte. Mitchell Robinson, Achua going to Atlanta. Why not get 2 dependable 5s? There's many different avenues where the Knicks can go. I'm sure they're haggling right now in the front office, or they like what they saw from the rookies during the summer league. I know you can't really count on the rookies, but some are still young. Things can really. I know end of July, like beginning of August is like the dead zone. Like nothing really happens. Everyone's on vacation. Nothing really happens until you start to ramp up training camp, and then you probably get some more news regarding that. But yeah, it's an option. Kareem, what's going on? Salute to you as well. Paris says, salute Paris, what's going on? I notice all the podcasts are stuck in what used to matter. It's a new day. Leon has stocked this team to make a final piece move. If Randle wants a max, he's gone with Kolek for, wow, he just said for who?
Oh, man, left us with the cliffhanger there.
Cliffhanger. But no, look, Leon's not going to do anything stupid. That's what he has shown us over these past couple of years. We trust in Leon. He has made some very savvy moves. He has made some great signings, underrated signings. Deuce, Dante. You have a lot of team-friendly contracts on this team. So the Randle extension obviously has been a hot topic within these last couple of weeks. But I mean, what do you think? I don't know, Chris. I don't think it gets done. I just think the Knicks are trying to wait it out to see how Randle's shoulder is. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a scenario where, maybe Julius takes it up to the the deadline, and then he's just like, depending on how he's feeling, right? If he feels like maybe his shoulder's not getting where he expected it to be, maybe he takes a team-friendly extension or something, just to secure his future a little bit.
Yeah.
But in my personal opinion, Julius is the type to go nuts, especially when he's rehabbing or something like that. Wants to get out on the floor as quickly as possible. And he just seems like the type of guy who's going to bet on himself, right? So it could go both ways, man. It really can.
Yeah, so, regarding Julius, I feel like, obviously I said my piece on Julius. I feel like it eventually will get done, and he's a major part to this team's success. I know a lot of fans, Chris, don't mess with Julius. So
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
It's, you know what it is? It's the Julius that was kind of by himself, that was kind of doing things too much, forcing things.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down. I think that rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way. The lackadaisical on defense sometimes. You see the footage on Twitter. But, with this team, with this current team, OG Anunoby in January, we saw how it was just a completely different Julius, dominating everyone. And now you add Mikal Bridges into that mix. I just think you'll get an even better version of Julius Randle. So this is from Tommy B. Remarkably, Knicks rookie Tyler Kolek is the first and only player in Summer League history to dish out 35-plus assists while committing fewer than 8 turnovers in the Summer League. Chris, Steve Nash, bro. Steve Nash.
Yeah, I mean, he balled out. As far as playmaking, he was nuts.
Yeah. So
I mean, he's a steal, man. He's a steal for his second round. That's a steal.
It is right now. I look, it's summer league, we get it, but I know a lot of people in the room are like, "Come on, this summer league guys." But hey, I mean, we wouldn't be talking about him if he was playing like crap, right? I mean, he was playing well, he was playing really well. So shout out to Tyler Kolek for really balling out during the summer league and just attaching pretty much that brought up the conversation of the backup point guard and whatnot, Chris. So, we touched on the extension talks. We talked on the backup center. Precious Achiuwa is still out there. We still don't know that situation. Jacob Toppin, I think he got hurt during the summer league. That's why he only played 2 games. So, I think he got like
he looked all right. It looks like he's developed. The shot looks a little weird, but hit most of them that he took. So, that could be a backup power forward right there. Nah, I'm just kidding.
The Toppin, Jacob Toppin.
Yeah, he's a couple. I think he's a couple years away.
Paris says biggest 2 stories is Randle decision to take less, like 170 million instead of 187, or he's gone. That's why we signed Kolek and got Precious on standby. I say it's to Detroit for Duran and Jaden Ivey. That rumor has also come about. The Duran, remember the Knicks? That was their draft pick, and then they traded it. So Duran and Jaden Ivey. I remember when Jaden Ivey came out, and I was like hot and heavy for Ivey, but
same.
But yeah,
Same.
his broad of the comment was Julius Randle is the biggest. It's the biggest decision, right? It's a big piece. And like I said earlier, the Knicks have kind of been proactive. They haven't really, waited. Like the Manuel Quickly wanted more money. What they do? They shipped Manuel Quickly with RJ Barrett to Toronto. So if Julius Randle says to the Knicks, like, no, I want more money, a trade isn't off the table. As much as I don't want to say that, a trade isn't. That has to be on the table. So
yeah. I mean, it's
out there.
It's smart business, right?
Yeah.
And everything we've seen, everything we've seen so far from the Knicks from the front office has been smart business, right? They get creative, but if it comes down to it, and I think it's a situation where Julius is like, hey, this is what I want. If y'all can give it to me, so be it. The smart thing is to get something while you can, unfortunately. And hopefully it doesn't come down to that.
Hopefully it doesn't. Nick says, I don't want to lose Randle for any offensive talent less than Towns or marketing. Yeah, you're true. Like, think about it. If you're losing Julius Randle, you want to kind of replace his offense and his toughness. But I don't want to think about that. Then we brought up this trade regarding, this came out from heavy.com. This is not my mock trade. I know a lot of people would attach this to, me or us, but this is not my mock trade. Knicks received Jaren Jackson Jr. This is from heavy.com. Grizzlies received Julius Randle. This was a mock trade simply because, the Randle extension hasn't gotten done. And I don't think there were reports. I pretty much saw out there that it wasn't looking like it was going to get done. That's what I was seeing. So I don't know, but it's just something to ponder about. Leave you guessing.
Yeah, I'm still not seeing how this trade even happens. I'm thinking the Grizzlies just hang up.
Yeah.
I mean, considering they're getting, Morant back and whatnot, why not give it another shot and see if, you can last the whole season with Morant.
Yeah. I know a lot of Knicks fans were with this trade because you're getting 2 first-round picks, and then you're getting Jaren Jackson, I think he's on contract for another year. So that's just something to ponder about. So Knicks 100 GM, what's going on? That's a good trade if they add another pick and Aldama. Now you're kind of asking for a lot in that. That's greed, right?
I'd have to take that right away, unfortunately. Yeah.
So Summer League is done. So right now we have the Olympics going on right now, right? USA is playing over there. Jalen Brunson's not over there. It's such a shame. I wish he was there, but extension with Brunson's done. Now we wait for Bridges if he signs a 2-year, $60 million extension. or waits till next year. Now it's, our team is pretty much, I would call our team, I don't know, Chris. I just feel like there's something else.
Yeah,
There's something
same.
else there, man.
Same.
can't-
There's
I
there's a
can't-
reason why Precious has not signed with anybody.
There's something else there, man.
Yeah, I know we have his we're able to sign and trade him. We have his rights. So there has to be a reason. There has to be a reason. It can't just be Precious is waiting till everybody's off the market to then be like, hey, I'm the only center who wants me. I feel like there's something in the works, man. There's something in the works.
Yeah, so that's what we're waiting on. The Precious Achua. Sign and trade, or you sign him, but who knows? But I just feel like there's something else there, because like I said earlier, I feel a little bit queasy going into the season, relying on, Mitchell Robinson being healthy for the majority of the season. As much I would love to see that and hope for that, I don't know. When you're trying to, I try to be logical. When you're trying to win a championship, and the one thing that has hurt you is injuries, you kind of need to, they've already kind of figured out the depth situation regarding the guards, but, in terms of like the backup center regarding Mitch, losing Hartenstein was a big blow. It was. So,
Yeah.
Not saying you could replace Hartenstein, but, there's something else out there. I feel like there's something else out there. So
I think so too, man. I think so too. I mean, Knicks 100 GM says nobody wants Precious. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong and nothing is coming, and Precious is the odd man out, when it comes to the NBA. But I don't know, man.
I don't.
We'll see.
I think something else is. I think there's a reason, like Chris said, there's a reason why Precious is still out there. Precious had a good stretch for us, guys. Remember, when everyone was hurt, Precious had a good stretch for us. He was balling the heck out for us. And say what you want, I mean, he stepped up. He was just a throw-in. And no, I mean, he was more than a throw-in. So, like Chris said, there's something else out there. But, Chris, anything else you wanted to touch on?
I think we pretty much touched on everything.
Yeah. Yeah, we touched on pretty much the Summer League guys, the Randle extensions, the Hartenstein would have taken a New York Knicks pay cut. Yeah. I don't know.
Why did he even put that out there? He basically said, hey, I took the money. If they didn't throw this money in my face, I would have been a Knick. I don't know. I guess it's going to be that's going to be what he's asked day in and day out going forward.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Hartenstein, I love him, but he's not on our squad anymore.
Sucks.
It is what it is, He's dead to me. He's dead to me. That's it. But yeah, if anything was to come out, obviously we'll be back on here doing a podcast. We normally do it every Sunday night, but things have kind of been slow. Vacations, we've been kind of away. I've been away, just kind of enjoying the summer, and excited to talk Knicks as much as possible. Shoquan, what's going on? Did y'all talk about Kolek and the Knicks' future? Yeah, we did. We touched on it early on in the pod. Tyler Kolek was absolutely awesome during the summer league. His assists are, some of those assists were absolutely insane. His court vision is insane. There's a reason why he was one of the assist leaders in college. Older rookies, 23 years old, but Knicks have shown us that they've kind of figured out a secret sauce to kind of develop guys. Obviously, Deuce quickly. So, Tyler Kolek is, could be the next guy that could develop into something, really, really good for the Knicks. And when you're signing, like Chris said earlier, when you have a bunch of guys that are signed to these big deals, you kind of need to find these diamonds in the rough in the second round and to kind of combat everything. So, shout out to the Knicks. I know it's summer league. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I love what I saw from Kolek. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, in the chat, we're getting a lot of, Kolek is just getting like HRM great here. Kolek getting showcased. A lot of people are kind of leaning that way.
that he's gone after
I'd
August.
be surprised. I'd be surprised, man. Look, the Knicks have the front office has done a great job get with these late draft picks, getting great guys. You know, we've seen it already multiple years. You got to give them credit, but you know, Kolek definitely impressed with his playmaking. Hey, we have 100 point guards, right? CM, I see you, but that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Because last year it was just Jalen Brunson and Deuce McBride. So
Yeah. He could
Good
be,
problem.
but I don't look. He's kind of becoming like, I want to say a fan favorite, but the Knicks, look, he played well. So he could be. I mean, whether you think he's getting showcased, I doubt it. But we do have a lot of guards. So, you know, Chris, what did we come last season? Remember, we came into the season saying pretty much the same thing, right? Where's the playing time going to come from? You have Quickly, Dante, Grimes, and then they kind of needed to consolidate a little bit, and they did. So,
Oh, you just actually, you know, it's funny because when we signed Campaign, that kind of worried me because I was like, you know, I think there's a lot of drama about whether Deuce is going to be back or he's going to be included in the trade.
yeah,
Another rumor floating out there is that the Knicks are also checking in on Landry Shamet. So
which I don't understand. But
that's another guard, really, right
Yeah.
there. So I don't know. That's what makes me think that maybe something is in the works. You know, that report I believe was fairly recent. I think that came after the campaign signing. I could be wrong though.
yeah, so kind of had the same issue last year. A lot of guards. Knicks needed to consolidate, and they did. Maybe they do the same and get kind of another big in here. I'm just saying, you kind of see the writing on the wall a little bit, but when your big splash was to get a Mikal Bridges, I just feel like anything is on the table now as long as you keep kind of those four guys, the starting five, and you keep that unit together. We're still a championship team. Just tinker here and there, and we should be good to go. This was fun, man. Episode 59. Appreciate every single one of you in the chat joining us here tonight. We will be back when we hear some news regarding maybe a press or trade or whatnot. This was fun. Episode 59. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Smash the thumbs up button. Any final words, Chris, before you wanted to head up on out of here?
Let's go Knicks, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. Can't wait for the preseason. Summer League is a wrap. Unfortunately, we can't see our young guys no more, but you heard it. If there's any news that breaks, we'll be here.
Yes, sir. Once again, you can become a member for only $2.99 and support the channel. I do behind the scenes stuff and post videos and whatnot. Yeah, so appreciate every single one of you joining us. This is fun. We'll be back shortly. Maybe in the next week. Maybe next week if if the trade goes down, I feel like something will go down. So keep those notifications on. Keep that. Smash the ring bell. I think you can get all the notifications as well. I'm Anthony.
I'm Chris.
Catch you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.